In this video, I'm going to give you my opinion for the most important tech of 2022. You can see them right here. They may not be many, but for me, either in updates or just presenting a completely new thing, these were the most important things. So let's get to it. Starting off with the iPhone 14, specifically the Pro version, and no, it's not the Dynamic Island. The Dynamic Island is a gimmick, and it's been proven to me by my wife. I got her the iPhone 14 Pro. She said at the beginning, it's nice, and you have a new feature, blah, 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 and when you show it off to people, look what this can do, blah, blah, blah. Next to the time, she says that she barely pays attention to it, so it's a gimmick. The real reason for me and for the iPhone 14 Pro is the switch to the 48 megapixel sensor. And I know that other phones have already had a larger sensor for years now, but in the case of Apple, this is big for them. For you to have an idea how big this is, Apple has not switched or had not switched from its 12 megapixel sensor since the iPhone 6s in 2015. They've had the same sensor since 2015. So, in my opinion, that is the reason why this is so important, that they switched over to that. You guys know, in my opinion, that in video, iPhone is king, and my wife actually sent me a video through iMessage on her iPhone 14 Pro to see something I didn't even pay attention to what she wanted me to, because I was so mesmerized with how good the quality was of the video. And it went through iMessage, so something probably got lost in the quality. And she doesn't record at ProRes or anything like that when she sends video. So anyways, the problem, quote-unquote problem, that the 48 megapixel brought was MKBHD, which is one of the biggest YouTubers in tech, made a video with a blind camera test for all the phones that came out in 2022, and the iPhone did pretty bad. It didn't do awful, but it didn't do great. It was in the middle, near the end, but near the middle. And he gave a good reason for it. I completely agree. And the solution for it, I completely agree also, that it's because since they switched over to the first time to the 48 megapixel sensor, and they probably didn't touch too much the processing that the picture does after it's taken, like it always did with the 12 megapixel. From one iPhone to the next, you could see the difference in the quality, but it was just processing that the phone did after you took the picture. And that's the same thing when it comes to the 48 megapixel sensor. I don't think that they tweaked it at all or that much. That's why most of the pictures that you take with an iPhone 14 Pro look quote unquote over processed. That there's a bit too much going on, or a bit too many changes going on from what it would naturally be because of that over processing. You don't have to take that many actions when you have a 48 megapixel sensor as when you do when you have a 12 megapixel sensor. But again, in my opinion, this was a huge change for Apple to switch to the 48 megapixel sensor, and that's why I think that is one of the most important tech of 2022. Next, we're going to be talking about the Google Pixel 7, and not the 7 Pro, just the 7. And I know that, Google launched this phone and it's basically the same, almost the same as it was last year, just a little bit more polished and a little bit neater. But the reason for this to be, in my opinion, really important tech is the price. They priced this phone at a release price of $599. And we're talking about a flagship phone. We're not talking about the 6A or the A versions of the Pixel. We're talking about a flagship phone, the entry level of the flagship phone. And it brings a lot for those $599. It has a 6.3-inch OLED 90 Hz refresh rate display with their flagship processor and their second generation, which is the Tensor chip. It's basically the entry level of their flag. It's like comparing it. It would be more of a comparison to the 14 Pro than it would be to the 14, because it's way better than the 14. It's more in line with the 14 Pro, and the difference is in price is astonishing. $599, $1,000 for the 14 Pro, and it's base configurations. Obviously, all I'm saying is it's base configuration. So basically, Google undercut the competition by giving buyers an option of a flagship entry-level phone at a really great price. And those companies are going to have to watch out with what Google is doing, because they're doing their own chip, so they lowered the price on their phone. So I'm actually really excited to see what's going to come out in 2023 with the Pixel 8. That's how big a change I think this is. Finally, it's the Ford F-150 Lightning. And I don't do car reviews. For that, I will make reference to the guys from Tap.Cars and Tap.com and Tap Deportes, sorry. They're friends of mine. They allowed me to use their video from their reviews of the F-150 Lightning. So if you guys want, you can watch their review from the vehicle side. I don't do that, at least not yet, if anybody is interested. But at least not yet. Anyways, the first thing I'm going to start off is the great idea that since we're not going to have an engine where it normally goes, let's just make this huge trunk and give people the idea for you to fill it with ice and put drinks on it. So if you go tailgating, you have something to keep your drinks in. That is a great selling idea. Just that is a great selling idea. But the fact that they took their best-selling pickup truck and almost, or if it's not still there, it's really close to the best-selling pickup truck in the U.S. They took that and they said, let's not make any drastic changes to it. Let's make it look like an F-150 if people see it from far away. But let's give it all this new technology. Make it batteries, give people the option, specifically here in Puerto Rico, you give people the option in case of an emergency, you can plug it into your house, and if you don't have power in your house, you can reverse that, and you can power your house with your pickup truck. I mean, just the ideas in tech are very, very impressive from this truck. And I know that, you know, Cybertruck was announced first by Tesla in 2019, but it's 2023, and we don't have a specific date on when that Cybertruck is coming. And let's be honest, it's pretty ugly looking. The Cybertruck is ugly. The Cybertruck, what reminds me of is when you give a very small kid a paper and pencil and say, draw a pickup truck. 9 out of 10 times, a Cybertruck is what's coming out of that image, of that drawing. So it is not a beautiful looking truck, and I love the idea that they kept it simple, because most of the pickup truck owners and those who want to own pickup trucks, they don't want something that's really flashy. They just want something either for work or because I want to have a pickup truck. I don't want something that's exaggeratedly flashy. All of them kind of have this same ideas, big grill on the front, as wide as you can possibly make them. Obviously, there's two exceptions, which is the Raptor and the TRX. But those are for people that want to be flashy. Those are options for people that want to be flashy. They want to turn heads and they want people to look at them. But the rest of the pickup truck buyers, they just want something that's simple. And the designs that have come out are also kind of simple. The Rivian R1T is another one that I really like, even though it's kind of different. It does keep that basic pickup truck design. The Hummer, even though it's humongous, It does kind of keep that pickup truck design. Um, it's not exaggerated. Yeah, it's kind of exaggerated looking. It's humongous, but it looks like a pickup truck. It's not like the Cybertruck that just looks like something weird. GMC announced their Sierra, and it looks like a traditional pickup truck. And Ram is maybe the one that tried to go out there a little bit, but then again, this is a concept version, and most of the times from the concept to the release one, they do changes based on what they hear from people, if they like, what they don't like, and they'll make changes based on that. But I'm really excited about the future of electric pickup trucks, specifically because of what Ford did with the F-150 Lightning, and I think this was the most important tech for 2022. Let me know your opinion in the comments down below, or if you think that I missed something, go ahead and leave it down there. While you're down there, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can get notified when we have new videos. Remember, if you have a Google or Gmail account, you have a YouTube account. Sign in your favorite app or at favorite browser on youtube.com. Search for us at J.R. Raymond's Tech, and the only way to give that like to me or to any other YouTuber that you like what they do, their work, the only way for you to really support them is by subscribing and smashing that like on the videos that you see. As always, we're available on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and obviously YouTube at J.R. Abrams Tech, so you can stay up to date with the latest news or rumors about tech. Until next time.